Okay, now we're finally moving on to our actual notes. And I want to pull some information over from my other page, um, just because it kind of simplifies it a little bit. So we talked all about these positive, negative, zero, and undefined slopes in different ways. And I also gave you the definition of the slope. So I'm going to use my Cami, and I'm going to go to shapes, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to just kind of make like a rectangle. I might be making a fail right now. Okay, I would be lying if I said that I did that really easily, because really what I ended up having to do is just turn my color to white and then scribble on the notes so that I can have a white spot to put my notes on top of. So if you'd like to do that, you can do that. But now I'm going to pull some of the notes from that first video I did. So I want to remind you that m at any time could be equal to like our change in y over change in x, which I think is probably the most difficult way to think about it today since you're just starting. It could also mean our rise going up and down over our side to side run. And you could also write that as words. So rise over run. So now I'm finally going to get into some examples with you guys. So let's take a look at letter A. So example 1 says finding slope from counting. Describe the slope of the line and then find the slope. So to describe the slope first, we would need to decide if it's positive, negative, zero slope, or undefined. So you want to read that slope going from left to right, and you want to see if it's trending upwards, trending downwards, or if it's flat or straight up and down. So when I look at this line, reading it from left to right, it appears to be trending upwards, which means that my answer is going to be a positive slope. So now I'm going to teach you how to find the exact slope. We do know that it's going to be positive, but to find it exactly, we're going to look at, let's start with this middle one, the up and down over the left to right. So I can zoom in now. I'm just going to bring those notes down. So I want to start out by finding both coordinates. So if I look closely, I can see there's a coordinate down here at -1, -2. And then I can also see another coordinate up here at +2, +2. So to find the slope, we want to look at first, the number on top is going to be how far does it go up or down. So from left, remember we're reading it left to right. So this coordinate comes first. So we're going to go up, and we're going to count how many do we go up. So from this point, we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one right here is a rise of 4. And then the next part is we want to see how far does it run. So from side to side. So I'm going to start right here where I left off, and how far does it run till we get to the next coordinate, which is this one right here. So starting here, we've got 1, 2, 3. So that is a run of 3. So if we wanted to say what the slope of this graph was, we said earlier that it was going to be positive, and this number is positive, so we were correct, and it's going to be a positive 4/3, which means for every point, we're going to rise up 4, and then we're going to go positive to the right 3. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right 1, 2, 3, and you're at your next point. And you could continue on, but it looks like my graph's going to run out. But that is the pattern that that graph is going to take. So I made a mess out of that one. Let's see if we can do the next one with a little bit less of a mess. Okay, let's move on to our next example, which is letter B. I brought down from the top notes a reminder. This time we're going to try the rise over run way of thinking of it. So the first thing you want to do is identify the 2 points that are on the crosshairs, like where the 2 lines cross each other right on that dot. So we've got this point right here at -1, 2. We've got another point down here at +3, -3. So if we want to think about the rise over run, remember we want to read this line from left to right. And when we read this line from left to right going this way, it looks like it is going down. So this one's probably going to have a negative slope. So we'll see if we're correct in the end. So the next thing I want to do is I want to think about my rise and my run. So this time I'm actually going to use the line tool. And I'm going to draw a line from my beginning point, which is the one that is furthest to the left. So -1, 2 is my furthest one to the left. And I'm going down to -3. And then I'm taking a turn and then I'm running from -1 over to +3. So now we can figure out by counting our rise. I'm going to go back to drawing our rise, which is going to be how far did we go up or down. Probably help if I put the thickness. Not chubby. So the rise over run. So the rise is going to be this one right here. How many do we rise? And in this case, we're not rising. We're actually falling because we're going down, right? So if we're moving down, that means that our top number is going to be a negative number. So how many are we going down? So to figure that out, we would count. So we are going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that makes a -5. And we're not finished because that's just our rise. And now we're going to look at our run, which is how far are we moving side to side. So to go side to side, that is from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So our bottom number is 4. So when we read this as a slope, m is equal to a negative over a positive, a -5 over a +4 means a -5/4. So that is a negative, just like we said it would be. And the actual slope is 5/4.